Hello, everybody. It's me, Maria Papaioannoy-Duic. Some of you might know me from Rights for Vapors. Others may know me from X. But right now, during this podcast series, you will know me with Good Cop. And we're going to kick things off here at Good Cop and let you know exactly what this is with David Williams, who happens to be not only the genius mind behind the creation of Good Cop, also the president of the Taxpayers Protection Alliance. Welcome, David.
Thank you so much, Maria. And this is Good Cop 2.0. And they talk about sequels and movie sequels. Usually movie sequels aren't as good as the first one, right?
Yeah.
But I think Good Cop 2.0, the sequel, is going to be better than Good Cop 1.0. We have more people representing more countries, so I'm excited for Good Cop 2.0, the sequel of Good Cop 1.0.
Yeah, and what's really good about this sequel is you did not even have to know about, participate in Good Cop 1. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct, because we've been talking about this issue, and folks have been talking about the conference of the people. So the Good Cop is conference of the people. The bad cop, conference of the parties. And that's what's happening with the WHO, the World Health Organization, this week. And what we want to do is have another counter conference. We did this in Panama. We're doing it in Geneva, the belly of the beast. This is where the World Health Organization is located. It's their headquarters. So we're excited to be here in Geneva, the belly of the beast, talking about the conference of the parties and what they're doing and what they're not doing. I think it's more important about what they're not doing, and that's allowing consumers, media, to have a real conversation about these issues.
Well, let's be very clear. They are allowing consumers that have the same thought pattern, thought position, non-provoking as, I guess, what's the guy's name? Tedros?
Dr. Tedros.
Dr. Tedros has. So if you do not believe in safer nicotine products, if you do not believe in novelty nicotine products, if you do not believe that vaping saves lives, you have a space there.
If you do not believe in science,
yes,
you have a space with, ironically, Dr. Tedros. As a doctor, you would think that he would look at the empirical evidence and see just how these products are helping millions of people. And quite frankly, they could help billions of people if they were more widely accepted by organizations like the World Health Organization.
I completely agree. And I think we're not going to get down to the bottom of the answers of what is going on there. Where's the conspiracy theories of it, but we are going to have solid conversations. I think I should tell everybody I participated last year. It was last year.
It was, yeah.
Because they had a whole drama around, I don't know, whatever. They had drama last year. But what I really, really loved about it is how much I walked away from their learning. And that continues to happen.
It was a learning experience because we talk to these people via Twitter, Facebook, email, but to have everyone in the same room, we have scientists, we have policymakers, we have consumers, we have advocates, we had everyone in the same room. And it was great to actually meet some of these people, because some of the people we'd never met before, and to put a face to a name and a body to a name, it was great to actually have these conversations in person.
Okay, we're going to take us, let's move backwards a little bit, because we're only at COP 2, so we're pretty close to, how did the idea come by? What were you doing? Were you jogging? Because I know you run in the morning, and you got to follow David on Twitter, because you can see the belly of Washington, D.C. in his Twitter feed.
The good, the bad, and the ugly of Washington, D.C. in my Twitter feed. But so I've been thinking about this for a very long time, ever since COP was in South Korea. Mm-hmm. And I noticed something was happening over the years in the different conferences, is that they got more authoritarian, is that they were kicking people out of the conference. We had one of our senior fellows in India who was forcibly removed from the meeting.
What do you mean forcibly removed?
They picked him up and dragged him out of the meeting in India.
Oh, my God. There was quite drama in India. That's when COP came on my radar, especially with the Billion Lives guy.
Yeah, and after India, I was thinking we need to have an answer to this, is that they can't meet behind closed doors and just have their own narrative, because that's what they were doing, is they were talking their own narrative about vaping, about tobacco control. So I decided, why not take the meeting to them? Let's have a counter conference. Let's do this the same week that they're doing this, and we are going to have an open door policy. And that's important to me. If someone from the World Health Organization wants to come to Good Cop 2.0, they are more than welcome. They are more than welcome to come here, and we can have a discussion. We are not welcome to go there and have the discussion. So that's why I have an open door policy. But really, I wanted this to be a week of programming, counter programming. A lot of misinformation, a lot of bad science is going to come out of the meeting for the World Health Organization. I want to counter that, and I want to have a fact-checking week so people can see just what's happening in this space, what they're saying and what they're not saying at the COP meeting.
Okay. Well, I agree with you. And I think I'm just going to say this is, it's not just David wants to, he is having one. I think you're not giving yourself enough credit on how much it takes to organize something like this. The World Health Organization, if they hired you, they'd save millions of dollars on their COPs. I bet you can do this much better than they can. But you've pretty much mirrored COP. Like, I mean, obviously we don't have NGOs kind of taking up space. But you've mirrored it where you're trying to make it as representative from across the world. You're meeting close by. We're continuing to talk. Like, I mean, we're not doing like all that fancy law work and, writing articles of this and that, but we're countering what they're saying.
I hate to take too much credit because, first of all, Martin Cullup, who is a senior international fellow, has done so much work in this space, and especially with this conference and the previous conference, putting this together, organizing it. And really, this is about people. This is not about me. This is not about my organization. This is about the billions of smokers that are out there. And when I think of the billions of smokers, I think of one in particular, my father.
Yeah.
3.5 packs of cigarettes a day for 20 plus years. He died at age 63. I'm 59 years old. He had a triple bypass at age 42, which at the time I thought was really old. I thought 42 was really old.
Oh, we all did.
And I just wish, and I think to myself, if he would have had access to these products in the 60s and 70s, he could have stopped smoking, whether it was vaping, heat not burn, pouches. And listen, I know pouches have been around for a very long time. Just ask the Swedes how long pouches have been around. They were not available in the United States. Now, yes, the FDA had nicotine replacement. It's not the same. It's not the same as vaping and e-cigarette. And if my father would have had those options, and it's funny, people complain about flavors, and they say, well, flavors entice kids. My dad had a sweet tooth, and I could totally see him vaping watermelon, because he did have that sweet tooth. So it's not out of the realm of possibility to see this tough guy, vaping a watermelon flavor.
No, absolutely. And I see these products not for kids. But I also think we have to stop this whole for the children. I mean, obviously someone's going to crucify me for this. However, when you're looking at the numbers, you're like in the States, you're below, like you're minuscule. Your vaping rates have dropped down.
Plummeted
like 2%, 1%. I can't remember. I saw Dr. Ken Warner. He did a presentation on this. Here in Canada, our vaping rates dropped by 50%. So, exceeded Health Canada's target. You're looking at this consistent across the world. It's because they're no longer so faddy, like fads, not fatty. And that's just time. But sadly, when you're looking at the disinformation, and I want to use the word disinformation, that just means that they're purposely putting out false information.
Or they're not putting the information out, is that they'll hide the information. So it's either disinformation or no information, because they know that the information is trending in our favor and showing that the youth are not vaping and it's becoming less fatty.
Well, I think this COP is something that everyone should be paying attention to, especially if you're in this space. I know it's kind of hard to learn and hard to, how do I say that? Explain exactly what it is. You just got to be in it and learn it, and as you go. Someone like Jeannie Cameron, who like taught me so much at the last COP. Like we have experts. We have people who created the framework convention of tobacco control at your good COP, at this good COP.
This is fascinating because this is the 20-year anniversary of the FCTC. And we have folks that were there 20 years ago when this was created. So they can give us a real perspective on what was supposed to happen 20 years ago, what's been happening over the past 20 years, what's happening now at the World Health Organization. There aren't a lot of people in this world that can say that they were there at the beginning. And that's why their perspective is so important. And that's why they're going to be the first ones to talk during this conference, because I think it's important to have that background for people to understand. There is a global bureaucracy that is keeping these products from consumers. I mean, they are making decisions for billions of people, and these people don't have input at all. Yet tax dollars are going to the World Health Organization. So we don't get to choose whether our tax dollars go to the World Health Organization, and we have no input on what they do and the decisions that they make. And that's what I'm concerned about, is a global bureaucracy making these decisions for consumers. Consumers need choice.
Yeah. And the crazy part, too, is that you have countries like New Zealand that are part of FCTC. You have Canada, which honestly, we now have like probably the worst regulations, like that are always undermined. It's just the way our government works. But you have these countries that believe in harm reduction. They have guiding principles for harm reduction, for all these other things. And then, here they are, not willing to stand up for tobacco harm reduction. And I think that's going to be one of the key themes based on like the buzz and stuff like that.
And what I'm looking forward to this week is in Panama with Good Cop 1.0, we saw countries starting to speak out. We saw St. Kitts and Nevis starting to ask questions.
Yeah.
The World Health Organization, they did not like that.
No, they got the Golden Ashtray Award.
Yes, because they asked questions.
I know.
And I'm hoping that there's more momentum this year, that more countries feel free to speak out, that there's more pushback on the World Health Organization. And I think there will be. And the reason I say that is every 2 years they have this meeting, and it's usually an honor to host it. A country, they don't fight for it, but they want to host the Conference of the Parties by the World Health Organization. Nobody wanted to host this year's meeting, so their fallback was Geneva, where their headquarters is. So I think that it may be moving in our direction. Listen, I know this is like the continent's moving, but I think there's some small movement in our direction here, is that countries are a little fed up with the World Health Organization. And I really urge delegates that have questions to speak out and feel like they can speak out against what's happening at the World Health Organization.
Well, I can tell you from my end, I emailed Health Canada because we're one of the founding partners. Literally, the email address to get to Health Canada is FCTC. Believe it or not, which is like the most random. I kind of connected with that last year after Good Cop 1.0. We've been pushing. Consumers are becoming much more aware, and I think that's another fear that they have. The knowledge, education, the more educated someone who picks up a nicotine pouch or picks up a vape is, that is fearful for an organization that is in secret, pretty much.
Well, the more that these people find these products, what's happening is you have someone like my father who smokes, chain smoker, or even a few cigarettes a day or a pack a day. They start using these products and something very strange happens. They start feeling better.
Yeah.
They can breathe easier. Life is so much easier when they have these products. And that scares the World Health Organization, because now, and we'll talk about this, in detail later, is now it's not the products necessarily, it's nicotine.
Oh my God. Can I just tell you, Canada is the testing ground for the World Health Organization, because I do know that they're trying to call themselves nicotine control now. However, our tobacco control rebranded last year and we all made fun of them. So we also in Canada, and I think this is something that people need to pay attention to as well. We're putting through a bill in one of the provinces where we can sue anybody, including me, consultants, vaping companies, small e-liquid companies, for probable healthcare costs. Not proven, probable.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. So as I tell you, we are beta testing for the World Health Organization.
Yeah.
This bill, and if we don't stop it, sorry for the rest of the world, we've screwed you over. You're going to look at them attempting to do lawsuits that are even bigger than they had against big tobacco.
This is so frustrating. And again, getting back to why we put this conference together is, again, we have scientists. We have people who've been studying vaping. We have people who've been studying nicotine. And I've seen some studies where a majority of physicians think that nicotine is what causes cancer in smoking. I am just dumbfounded that these people who are very well educated believe that nicotine is the cause of cancer in smoking. And of course, it's absolutely not.
We know that. Okay, we're well into 16 minutes here, 17 minutes, David. So before we wrap it up for today, let's put in some key places where people can follow. Where can they follow? We're going to put this in the comments on the YouTube page as well. I'll make a note of that to tell the YouTube team. But where can people listen?
So we are live streaming all week at Protect Taxpayers on Twitter. We will be live on YouTube, TPA Alliance, and we'll have all that information. And I just want to remind folks that this is the conference of the people, is we want interaction from folks. We want people to tweet at us, email us, comment on the live stream, because this is something that I believe dearly about, is I want input from everyone, because there's someone out there that is smoking that I want to stop because they see what we do this week and what the World Health Organization is trying to stop. That's my goal. If one person stops smoking this week, we're successful.
Amen to that. And thank you, everybody, for listening. We're going to have a whole bunch of podcasts. I'm a guest podcaster. I did not become American overnight. I'm here in Geneva, and I can't wait to get started. I am so looking forward to this. Honestly, I always say is that if you don't have a space where you can be yourself and share your opinion, why live?
Amen.
Amen.